wish there'd be 1 million people that could walk in and see it, come out and share it. But at this point in time, nobody is allowed in there that I'm familiar with. I'm not there all the time, so I don't know of a fact from own knowledge that there have been others in there. Okay, yes.
Yes, how did you know what location that God had chosen for you? Maybe, I'm not sure. Where I'm standing, you appear to feel like you've been chosen as God's geologist, maybe in modern times.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. Do you have a question too, or is that?
Yes. How did you know? Was there did you receive a vision? And to that end, have you ever been tempted to stray from that vision?
Okay. The reason I dug at that particular place was an unusual thing that happened to me. I was walking by there. My sons and I had gone to Israel to get chariot parts out of the Red Sea. Due to my own ignorance and carelessness, I got sunburned so bad my feet and legs swelled up I couldn't get my diving gear. So we were up hobbling around Jerusalem waiting for the date that was on our ticket. We got one of those cheap tickets, that you can only fly on the proper date. And I was walking along that escarpment, the Calvary escarpment, and it is under there. I just can't tell you the exact spot. If you go on my tour, I'll show you the cutouts, though. And since everything else is right below them, that should be helpful. I was walking along, and my left hand just went out like that, and my mouth said, "That's Jeremiah's grotto, and the Ark of the Covenant's in there." Well, I didn't do that. Deliberately, it happened without my mental intent to do so. And I knew that some supernatural power had used my arm and my voice. I wasn't sure which. So I went back home and started checking to see why the Ark of the Covenant might be there. And the research indicated that it quite likely would be there because of the siege wall around the city and it being the only place that they could access, without being seen from the siege wall, the guards on the siege wall. And so that's why I dug there. Now, as to visions and things like that, I've had some dreams. Back when I first started this stuff, I was praying and asking the Lord, I said, "Lord, please help me find and document and share in a humble, caring manner everything that will help somebody get to heaven that won't make it otherwise. If it doesn't do that, I don't need it." And at that point in time, I had a dream. And I was at the foot of this big cliff. And I could look off in the distance, and here was the whole planet. Seas, cities, all of it in my field of vision, and people just running around like ants on an anthill, just back and forth and all of this. And I had this big burden to tell them Jesus was coming. And I was trying to figure out how on earth I was going to get that done. So I got the idea that if I climbed way up on top of that big thing and yelled at the top of my lungs, that maybe somebody would hear it. The idea that if I climbed way up on top of that big thing and yelled at the top of my lungs, that maybe somebody would hear it. So I started climbing up there. And you know how dreams go. I'd take 2 steps forward and slide back and all of this. Finally, I got up to the top of the ledge, pushed myself up, stood up and turned around and shouted, "Jesus is coming." Everybody out there stopped, dead in their tracks, and looked. And then they started milling and getting busy again. Got back to about the same frenzy, and then all of those vanished. But standing in little groups, families, individuals and stuff over the planet were a number of people and just kept looking that way. So in my mind, that was God telling me that everyone would get the message, but that not everyone would take advantage of it, okay? And if we work for God on behalf of lost souls, we can expect the help of angels. If necessary, we can have dreams. When you read the Acts of the Apostles and those things, the Holy Spirit led out in the work. Now, I'm not talking about the Holy Spirit or the Spirit that some people call the Holy Spirit. Paul admonished Timothy, he said, avoid vain repetition and vain babblings and opposition of science falsely so called. Tragically, people that are qualified scientists are not, most of them are unqualified liars. So there's a tremendous amount of so-called scientific stuff that's pure garbage. And one has to be careful about that. Yes?
Based on information from the Bible, many Christians, not all Christians, but many have come to believe that we've been around, human beings been around for less than 5,000 years. But there is also a lot of research and results shown by archaeologists and paleontologists and seekers like yourself, which are even Christians, who have come to conclude, based on a lot of solid evidence, that we've been around a lot longer than that. What would you have to say?
All right. Now, this man is saying that a lot of Christians believe that mankind has only been on the planet for something in excess of 5,000 years. However, there's a lot of good, honest scientists, some of whom are Christians, that have come up with solid evidence that we've been around a whole lot longer than that. All right? That solid evidence does not exist. I'll share a little of it with you. You remember Richard Leakey and some of the other Leakeys? In particular, they found 8 ounces of bone. Wasn't fossilized, on the Olduvai Gorge in Africa. And they had a friend of theirs who was a specialist at potassium argon dating to date it. And he said, I forget, it was a long time ago, and this was supposed to have been an ancestor of humans. Well, I've studied chemistry, physics, astronomy, all of these things, along with whatever religion on this planet believes, because I need to be able to talk to people in a manner that they can relate to and understand. In order to do a potassium argon test, you have to have 100 pounds of specimen. What part of that 8-ounce specimen did they take the 100 pounds from to run the test? You read the details in that, if you know what's going on, you'll find there's absolutely no evidence that life has existed on this planet beyond just short of 6,000 years. No scientific evidence whatsoever, and these people that say they have it are not honest researchers like myself. Okay? We tend to, shall we say, what's the word, extend our own morals and motives to other people. And it's a good sign that you think these people are honest and all of that, because that means you are. But they're not. And that's we will answer that. And I saw another hand back there. Yes, please. Yeah, stand up and tell me. I have trouble hearing back that way.
You're answering someone else's question, and you mentioned about someone sacrificing a lamb or something somewhere.
At the dedication of Noah's Ark National Park.
Did you mention Israeli government or something?
No,
No?
not offering a sacrifice.
Oh, I just thought I heard something like that.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. There are occasions when my mouth says something my brain doesn't intend for it to. Hopefully I made it clear that it was at this animal sacrifice that I referred to earlier. It was done by the Turkish government on the occasion of the dedication of Noah's Ark National Park. If I made it sound like it was in Israel, I apologize. Okay? Thank you kindly. Yes, sir. Talking about, so I can't be more explicit than that, okay? I do have a journal that has that on it. Anything to that effect. Now, that, I believe, was God's heavenly throne. The earthly presence around the earthly throne of God that the four beasts represent there, and the four beasts may well be angels for all I know. And what I advise most people, everybody that asks, to do is go to the Father in the name and blood of His Son. Right? You get the last question. I want to tell the...
It only requires a yes or no answer.
All right.
Have you had any unexplained illnesses, and have there been any attempts on your life?
All right. Have I had any unexplained illnesses, and have there been any attempts on my life? Yes. We won't elaborate on that. He said a yes or no would do, so thank you. All right. Now, there's some questions that have to do with supernatural assistance and or encouragement.